You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show podcast on KPEL965.com.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studios. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Was hatred of corporate America a motive? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's a big question as Luigi Mangione sits in a Pennsylvania jail facing murder charges in New York in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Investigators are going over social media posts about healthcare, and they found something else Mangione appears to have written.
Claiming he acted alone. The shooting had to be done. Quote, these parasites simply had it coming.
Fox's Brian Yennis outside the Altoona McDonald's where police caught up with the suspect.
Mangione then gave police a fake ID, the same New Jersey fake ID used by Brian Thompson's shooter to check into a hostel in Manhattan. He also had a loaded 3D printed ghost gun pistol, a 3D silencer, $10,000 in cash, a U.S. passport.
Now to the Middle East.
With rebel forces now in control of Syria, there are efforts underway to prevent them from having more military power. Overnight, the Israelis conducted extensive airstrikes against Syrian Navy vessels, working to destroy infrastructure that had belonged to the regime.
That's Fox's Trey Yingst reporting from Turkey. There's a new California wildfire spread fast by strong winds, prompting evacuations in Malibu and shelter-in-place orders at Pepperdine University.
This fire broke out last night around 11 o'clock local. It was 10 acres in the mountains, and now it's about 2,000 acres. And we don't know how many structures or homes have been lost. We do know we have about 600 firefighters now on scene, 7 helicopters.
That's Fox's William Lajeunesse near the flames in Malibu. President Biden doesn't have much time left in office, but in about 2 hours, he hopes to get attention with a speech on the economy.
Describing an inflection point, President Biden will caution against a backslide to trickle-down economics with tax cuts favoring the very wealthy and rolling back investments for things like infrastructure and manufacturing. Disapproval of President Biden's handling of the economy emerged as a top issue for voters this year.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern of the White House. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
He's coming. Here he goes. Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for a new one out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless. What a waste.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at Progressive Commercial.
Get ready for something fresh and exciting with the Josh Guillory Show. Josh Guillory brings a new perspective to the airwaves, analyzing news and issues coming out of Baton Rouge and Washington, D.C., and breaking down how they affect you. Engaging, raw, and informative, Guillory knows how to have fun while delivering the latest in politics and current events. With daily features that entertain and inform, you won't want to miss a single episode. The Josh Guillory Show, 4 p.m., Monday through Friday, only on News Talk 96.5, KPEL.
For many servicemen and women, the battle doesn't end when they come home. And I know, because I too struggle with the invisible wounds of service. Pups for Patriots and Sam literally changed my life. If you're a veteran or know a veteran struggling with post-traumatic stress or a traumatic brain injury, go to AmericanHumane.org to learn more about the Pups for Patriots Service Dog Program. Let's give our veterans a fighting chance.
A message from American Humane.
Bikers Against Child Abuse empowers children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. For more information, visit BACAworld.org. Our helpline is 866-885-9474. BACA, breaking the chains of abuse.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champines, located in the Oil Center. Champines, going the extra mile.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hi, hello. Welcome, Moon Griffon Show. Always a pleasure to be with you as we head toward Christmas time. And it's always great to be with you. 844-766-6607. Excuse me. I'm filling up with this bourbon pecan pie from J.D. Regard already this morning. Didn't eat breakfast because of this. But I'm not going to get to him yet. I'm going to eat and savor this smell in here first. Anyway, we got J.D. coming up as well. But before we get there, my friend Tiger Grace joins us. Judicial hellhole. Tiger, what's going on, brother?
Moon, good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. Well, the next question is going to be Louisiana's trying to work on some tax reform and things of that nature. But, our lawsuit climate over here is absolutely ridiculous. And I don't see it getting any better unless people step up and start doing the right things.
Well, I think that, the good news, Moon, we have seen some people in some leadership in your legislature that's enacted, working to try to make some improvements. But I think for the reasons that we put your state on the hellhole list a number of years ago, a lot of those problems still remain. And I think solving them, particularly, whether it's just the overhang of these coastal lawsuits, we're still seeing the results of the fraudulent cases being the staged accidents that are being brought, the impact that's had. And so addressing all those matters, I think, is important. But, I think, as I said, there have been some improvements. One of the issues that the state tackled in the last year was third-party litigation funding. That's an important issue. That's going to have a very significant impact on the broader civil justice system, and so kudos there. Having said that, another key issue that we've focused on around the country is what we call phantom damages, and that is, the simple question of, what does it actually cost for someone to have their medical care provided if it's settled for a different amount that an insurance company pays off? Is that the amount, or is it some predetermined or some number that's on a piece of paper that's never actually paid, something significantly higher? And regrettably, your governor vetoed a bill that would do that. That was one of the centerpiece reform efforts in your friends in Florida in 2023, and we would hope that that Louisiana could follow their lead on enacting a meaningful proposal as far as that goes.
Where is Louisiana right now in the judicial hellhole? Where do we rank?
Well, we've got you ranked number 10. You've been higher before because, as I said, there have been some improvements, and we hear from and we see leaders in the legislature that are indicating they want to do the right thing. But it's tough, as you know. It's tough to get these reforms through. And, our view is that we're going to call balls and strikes the way we see them. And we're going to wait for and we'll hope for and we'll celebrate appropriate reforms. As I mentioned, Florida, I was talking about, the success there between some improvements in the judiciary, legislative reforms. We've taken them off the list altogether. They were former number one hellhole. And so it can be done, and we're hopeful that it can be done in Louisiana as well.
Tiger Grace, let me ask a quick question. How long should this take us? Because over here, all we ever get is the old proverbial step in the right direction. The second, third, fourth, fifth step never comes. And I'm hoping that's changing with the new governor. But the point being is we can't keep taking these liberty steps. It don't seem we move the needle to change anything. If you come to Louisiana and you watch any news or any news show, if it ain't 80, 70% trial lawyer advertisement, it won't be any. Billboards the same way. You go down, I could go down to the one we're on right here. I could take you down right now. One law firm in locally's got 5 or 6 billboards on this street right here that I'm sitting in front of. So what do we have to do to get that quick? And can you? As a state like Louisiana, is it only going to be a step in the right direction, or can we make big jumps, big changes?
Well, no, you absolutely can make the changes. And again, I'm a little bit of a broken record here. That's what happened in Florida, and it took them quite some time as well. Sometimes, regrettably, it takes sort of hitting rock bottom. That's what happened there. Texas, which is another state which has an appropriate reputation as a reform state, but, a number of decades ago, it was the worst of the worst. Yeah. So sometimes it does take sort of hitting rock bottom. We don't recommend that. We think it should be done now, and we're hopeful that that it can be accomplished. But Moon, you put your finger on one of the issues. The plaintiffs' bar has a major stake in preserving the status quo, and you talk about the advertisement, and it's their right, of course, to run ads. But we did an analysis of your state and found that between the beginning of 2023 and the middle of this current year, over 1.4 million ads were run in your state. Just in 18 months, over $66 million was spent. So there's a lot on the line for the plaintiffs' bar. So I think that helps to illustrate how, why this is so difficult. They have a major stake in preserving the status quo or even making matters, at least from our perspective, worse.
Yeah, Tug, I'm just, I got the solution if you want to hear it for what we need to do here. Everything they propose here, every change they propose here, everyone, trial lawyers shoot it down. And yet it's the trial lawyers that are on TV talking about how the big insurance companies are making money. Like, they don't make any money, but now they're starting. We'd make billions. Look at all the money that we got for our clients. And by the way, they don't say how much money went to the client and how much money went to them. So it's a problem. So here's my solution, and I put this out there. Now, what trial lawyer took it? I'm talking about the political ones. I'm not talking about the average trial lawyer. Most of those are good guys or ladies. They're out there working. They work with the laws and all. But so my suggestion is the governor and the legislature bring the trial lawyers in, the political ones, and say, tell us what to do. We're going to do exactly what y'all say. That way, they can make a living. The insurance companies can make a living. We'll bring more in here to compete, and the people don't get hosed. Okay? They won't do it. They never have this solution. They only try to stop anything that might change the state of Louisiana.
Well, I think what our experience in other states is that they are, especially I was talking to some of the folks in Michigan. They enacted a series of significant reforms a number of years ago. The trial bar is in that legislature telling them to expand liability. So I suspect that they could probably come up with some ideas if it really came to it. But I think from our perspective, it's let's just make sure that we're educating the public, explaining, and one of the fallacies that we hear that I think is evident is when you start to hear about, well, the insurance companies make all this money. Well, when you're in a jurisdiction where the system is so badly out of whack that they won't even participate in the market, then everybody has a problem. Yeah. You can't insure your home, you can't insure your vehicle. Those costs go up, and you can blame the insurers all you want, and they are in business to make a profit, as are all businesses, or as businesses should be. But when the system really just fails, as it's done in certain jurisdictions, I keep coming back to Florida. They obviously have issues, as does Louisiana, with hurricanes, sure. and climate-related matters and challenges. However, having the ability to assess risk is a challenge when the system really has fundamentally failed.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Can you, right off the top of your head, name probably the 2 or 3 things we have to get done if we're going to see a change?
Well, I would say I would begin with the transparency in damages and what we call phantom damages. I would just begin there because that's something that your legislature has taken up. I think that would have a significant reform impact. But it takes time for even those to take effect, because litigation takes time. It plays out over a number of years. And cases that are filed prior to a reform going into effect are going to take time to resolve as well. So, but that would be where we would begin, and making sure that that I think seatbelt admissibility is another one that we would point to, especially in circumstances where, the market for automobiles and insuring automobiles is challenging. So that would be an important reform.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, Tiger, how can
punish the wrongdoers in those insurance cases?
Absolutely. All right, real quick, how can people get in touch with you if they want to find out more about what y'all do?
Sure. I encourage your listeners to go to our report. It can be found on our website, judicialhellholes.org, judicialhellholes.org.
All right. Tiger, always a pleasure, man. God bless. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Moon. Take care.
All right. We've got to take a break. When we get back, J.D. regarding, yes, we're giving away Cane River pecans. I've already got people rolling in here. And we will even give away a bourbon pecan pie. 2 giveaways today. All you got to do is email me, moon@moongriffon.com. Make sure you say you want to win, and make sure you leave an address. We'll take a break. Be right back. Folks, I've turned to Cane River Pecan Company for my personal holiday gifts for so long, I can't even remember when we started. The ordering is so easy, and the compliments I receive last all year long. They featured an outstanding selection of flavored pecans, pralines, and their famous boudin pie. And I love working with another family-owned Louisiana-based company. Trust me, folks, you got to give some pecans from Cane River Pecan Company. Look them up online at caneriverpecan.com. Now open our new pie bar, a 55-seat cafe on Main Street in New Iberia's historic district. When you think about how you'll spend your money in retirement, what comes to mind? Probably travel, sunny beaches, and spoiling your grandchildren. But a recent survey found that over 30% of every dollar a retiree spends goes to taxes. Baby boomers were told for years to save money in their IRAs and 401ks and pay taxes later. Well, now that day has arrived, and boomers are shocked to see a third of their money going back to Uncle Sam. John Blanchard and the Matthew James Financial Group can help. What if you could protect all or most of your retirement wealth from future tax rate increases? Achieve a zero or near zero effective tax rate for most of your retirement years. Find out more. 337-366-8366. Isn't it time you got a second opinion on your wealth and retirement outlook? Learn how you could potentially kick the IRS out of your IRA. 337-366-8366 and online at MatthewJames.com. Hey, folks, happy holidays from Ragin' Cajun Original Cajun Seasoning. This year's Ragin' Cajun is offering free shipping to our listeners of all Ragin' Cajun food orders over $25. Just go to Ragin' Cajun's website, acadianakitchen.com, and enter the coupon code MOON at the checkout. That's coupon MOON at acadianakitchen.com and get free shipping on all your Ragin' Cajun food orders over $25. Ragin' Cajun Original Cajun Seasoning. I love it. Your friends and family will too. Send me some Ragin' Cajun for the holidays. Coupon code MOON. This is Moon Griffon, Acadian. Hi, y'all. Welcome back, Moon Griffon Show. By the way, a surprise guest coming as well. Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple's in the house, and he'll be with us as well. But we got J.D. Regard. Let's go right to J.D.
I'd like to give Tim some pie.
Well, you can slam a piece down his throat if he gets here before you leave.
Hope he doesn't want to do pie reform. That'd be terrible.
No, not. They wouldn't be reforming your pie, brother. They'd say keep it as it is. But what you got today, bro?
We brought in our bourbon pecan pie, which we also ship nationwide, just like the boudin pie that you love so much.
And I think delicious.
This bourbon pie is a 9-inch deep dish pie with over a pound of whole pecans in it. And it also features a little bit of bourbon. Not too much where it's boozy, but just enough where you can get a little hint of it. And we use Maker's Mark, which a lot of people are familiar with, and it just smooths it out. What you think?
That taste is unbelievable. We didn't even put no ice cream on it.
You didn't. That's sinful. I told you about my friend in Texas. He has a cafe. He serves pie, and if you buy pie, a slice of pie, it's $6. But if you get pie with ice cream, it's $5. Because he thinks people ought to be penalized for being so stupid for eating pie without ice cream.
I love it, man. All right, so let's talk a little bit about gifting.
Right.
Still got a lot. You still got time.
We
need to roll.
We have over 2 weeks.
And another thing, you always talk about not only can you gift now, gift for the first of the year, gift for New Year's Day. People love that.
Absolutely. No one's going to come home from the holidays and get another gift and be upset about it. I can promise you that.
They get these pecans, they won't be.
Well, this is the thing. We've got over 2 weeks left to go in the gifting season. A lot of companies may think it's too late. And it's not too late to call us to get some corporate gifts out. We had a huge day yesterday, so people still have gifting on the brain.
By the way, I did mine yesterday,
so
you probably did have a huge gift.
You were one of them. I think we had our largest day ever in the history of our internet site yesterday. It's quite remarkable. So people are definitely still reacting. I think we're still kind of suffering from that late Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We all came back last week, and it was December 2nd. So we're still very busy, but the answer to the question, is it too late, is no, it's not too late. We actually get pretty fast the closer we get to Christmas because so many people order early. It's like we have a little gap, and we can fill that gap with people who might be a little late. But like we said earlier, if you give a gift and it arrives just after Christmas, or maybe you choose to give something that arrives after the new year, it's a great way to tell business vendors and partners and employees that, hey, we look forward to working with you next year.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's really cute, neat, folks, because what they do is they take 10, and in my case, they put my logo on it.
That's right.
And so they can take a company logo and put it on that. Yep. Is there a minimum on that?
No,
10,
well,
12?
it used to be 48. It's kind of a soft 48. If you're going to get below 24, it's kind of rough, but we like to keep them between 24, 48 as minimums. But we do large orders. I mean, we do a lot of orders for 500, 600, 800 at a time. We can get those kind of orders out. So if you're running a company and you got a lot of gifts to give, and man, you're really fretting the headache that goes with that, you call us. We take the headache right off your hands.
When people go to the internet, if they want to drop ship a package or two to family members, they can do that as well.
Absolutely. You can do onesies and twosies all day long. You can come into our brick and mortar location in New Iberia on Main Street, or you can go online, or you can call our 800 number, which I'll give to you before the segment's over.
Well, my wife ordered a pie, and she got to go get it. He won't ship it.
I'll ship it to Lafayette, but it's just she wants to come and do some more shopping.
No, absolutely. But it's what's the name of the pie I told you she's getting?
She got a chocolate chip pecan pie.
Say that slowly.
Chocolate chip pecan pie.
Walker's laughing and smiling because he's going to get a big piece of it come Sunday.
T-Moon's looking forward to that. Listen, I'll tell you, we have a bunch of pies and cakes that we sell, but they're only available in our brick and mortar in New Iberia in the historic district on Main Street. So if you're in the Acadiana area and you want to make a drive, as they say, come on down to the store. We have a cafe there, a 55-seat cafe where you can get coffee and pie and cake and pastries and soups and salads, and on days like this, really, really good gumbo.
Oh yeah, no. You know, if you own a restaurant of any kind and you ain't got gumbo, you wasted your time.
And yesterday, what a gumbo day!
Well, especially you, because they're going out here, they picking up stuff and they want to eat. That's a great place.
No, it is. They've coming down. They come during the lunch hour. They'll order their pecans. We'll gather other things that they need. Then they'll have a nice, delightful lunch, and then they're on their way back to their offices.
I know people came from Shreveport. They came all the way to New Iberia, picked up their pie, ate, and everything. It's kind of cool.
Moon, I'm proud to say you have sent people from all over the state of Louisiana to our location in New Iberia. I mean that sincerely. We've had people from Monroe, North Louisiana. Of course, we think of North Louisiana as anything above Alexandria. We've had people from Sulphur. We've had people from the North Shore come to Cane River Pecan because they heard about us on the Moon Griffon Show.
That's awesome. But I noticed my bride loves going out there with her friend Kathy Fuquay. When they go eat, a lot of times they go right there.
Well, know, we have a great gift shop, and honestly, we sell our products, no doubt. But we have a lot of products in our gift shop that are not Cane River products.
Yeah.
And people have really discovered that we are a good gift shop to go to. So there might be other things on your list, and you just might find them in our gift shop in New Iberia.
So what's the 800 number?
Yeah, the 800 number for our operators is 1-800-293-8710. And that's 1-800-293-8710. And you can always find us online 24/7 at CaneRiverPecan.com. And that's Cane with a C, C-A-N-E, riverpecan.com. And that's just like the Cane River that runs through Natchitoches Parish, where our family started growing pecans in 1969.
I'm going to show you real quick, just an example of all the people that want to win, where they're from Crowley, Denham Springs, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Let me move down the list for you. Prairieville,
there
Louisiana.
Love it.
This is Formerville, Louisiana, which is northwest of Monroe. Bossier City.
There you go.
Evangeline, Louisiana. Anyway, Anacoca. It's just all over the place.
I'm always amazed. We've been sitting in studio together for several years. This is our 13th year together, Moon, you and I. And you've been in the Lafayette market for how long now? 10 years.
I've been here 31 years.
But how long physically? Living here? 10 years. So I love the fact when you mentioned the giveaway because you get flooded.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay, buddy.
Look at this. With 5 Louisiana locations,
that was a quick
always
wrap-up,
make it a
Moon.
point to
You gotta get
visit
more notice in that,
Superior
T.
Grill when I'm traveling in the great state of Louisiana. I love the food
hard
there.
break.
It's authentic Mexican food with a Louisiana twist. The menu has all your favorites: nachos, quesadillas, enchiladas, tacos, fajitas,
and I want you to know
hand-cut
something.
steaks,
For the rest of the
best
week,
margaritas in the state. You go to Superior for lunch or dinner, and folks, you're going to thank me for it. My lovely bride and I eat at Superior Grill every chance we get. They're on Line Avenue in Shreveport, Government Street, and Highland Road in Baton Rouge, St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans, and on College Saloon in Lafayette. I'm talking great food, great service, and great margaritas. The best Mexican food with the Louisiana twist is found at Superior Grill, Shreveport on Line Avenue, Baton Rouge on Government Street, and Highland Road, New Orleans on St. Charles Avenue, and College Saloon in Lafayette. This is Moon Griffon. I'll see you at Superior Grill. This is Moon Griffon. My good buddy Jeff and the folks at Hudco Roofing and Exteriors is Louisiana's premier professional roofing contractor, specializing in residential roofing services. Remember, your roof protects everything, you and your family, and most of your possessions. And that's where Hudco Roofing comes in. These folks aren't just your average roofers. They're the #1 roofing company in the state. Whether you need a repair or brand new roof, Hudco Roofing has you covered. Hudco is a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master and takes every roof all the way down to the decking to make sure there are no hidden damages. Hudco Roofing is also a state-certified installer of the Fortified Roofing System, and that's a big deal. Anywhere in Louisiana, you can get a free roof inspection and quote from Hudco Roofing. Go to HudcoRoofing.com for quality workmanship, premium products, and unparalleled customer service. This is Moon Griffon. I trust Hudco Roofing of Louisiana, and so should you. HudcoRoofing.com. That's HudcoRoofing.com.
Group.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champagnes, located in the Oil Center. Champagnes, going the extra mile.
Hello, welcome back, Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you back with us. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. A lot to cover today. By the way, according to my last guest, J.D. Regard on Cane River Pecans, he told me today through Friday, not only to give away pecans, to give away the boudin pies and things of that nature. So being a nice guy, I'm going to do what the man pays the bill, so I'm going to do what he asked me to do. So we'll do that 2 a day all the way through Friday, and then that's going to pretty much end it. All right, we're joined. It was in town. I'm glad they got in touch with us. Tim Temple joins us, of course, our insurance commissioner. You know what J.D. said? By the way, good morning.
Good morning.
J.D. said, I just want to ask him one question. And he may ask you. I didn't hear y'all. I said, what's that? He said, why you want that job? You might be asking yourself that question now, Tim.
Hey, look, well, he calls himself the chief nut officer. I think I may have to call myself that sometimes, you know. But I'll tell you this, I was telling him outside, I just sent about 8 or 9 fellow commissioners of insurance Christmas. I sent pecans,
Cane River pecans
from Cane River.
Oh, let me tell you something.
They're fantastic gifts.
Those commissioners are going to be happy with you. I promise you. All right, Tim, of course, the big word on the street, we'll probably have a special session. I don't know that it hadn't been called. And maybe it doesn't need to be called during holidays, and not to mention hunting season and football. I mean, everything's going on crazy right now. But is that still your hope? Because, I mean, this is something you asked for last year.
Look, I've been talking about the need for a special session since last August of 2023 when I became commissioner-elect. And Moon, as I say all the time, you know, I am thankful that the governor and the legislature had a special session on criminal justice. I'm thankful that they had one on tax reform because those are 2 complicated issues. But what's more complicated than both of those is insurance reform. And so I think the people of Louisiana deserve a special session to address this issue because it's scary, it's complex, there's a lot of feelings and emotions around it. We need to let the legislators focus on this issue, if we truly want to bring about some meaningful reform so that you and I can keep more money in our pockets as a result of insurance reform than sending it to insurance companies.
To me, with most people, as I go around and talk to people, this to me is the most important issue. And let me tell you, it's not just my vehicle. It's small business with these trucks and these vehicles. And it's not just trucking companies. A plumbing company might have 20 trucks. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot more. So I hear from individuals, but I hear from a lot of small businesses because I'm a small business guy. That's who I talk to every day.
Well, and Moon, that's what we're talking about, the state economy here. And again, I'm thankful that the governor, the legislature have tackled, the reform that they did on tax. We needed that desperately. I mean, our state was way behind, and it's one of those things where we were spending more money on taxes than we should be compared to other states. Let's look at it through the same lens for insurance. We're spending more money on insurance in our state versus our competing states. And look, I travel the state, and I hear from individuals and I hear from business owners.
Yeah.
It's like, if I move across the magic line called another state, Arkansas, Texas, or Mississippi, my insurance drops dramatically. And all the reform that they've done is going to set Louisiana up so well for economic development, and I'm so excited for it. But insurance is a headwind. We've got to acknowledge that, and we have got to fix it, and we can fix it, Moon. We can.
Okay. I do not, and I'm repeating this up front, I do not want you to go after throw anybody on the bus.
Nope.
Okay, listen to me, though. The trial lawyers, I know the insurance companies are showing up and beating. Don't the trial lawyers have to come to the table and say, matter of fact, here's my, I'm glad you're here. Here's my idea of how to fix it. Trial lawyers go sit down with Jeff and all the legislators and tell us what we should do that they can still make a living. Insurance companies not only can make a living, we can get a lot to compete, and the average person is going to get a break because I don't feel like they're at the table. I didn't ask you to throw anybody on the bus because insurance companies got some problems too. But the problem seems to be they fighting each other, and the Moon and the Tims and the Walkers, we all the ones paying the price. What's their solution? Where are they at the table? I'm asking. I'm not asking you to throw anybody. I'm asking, where are they at the table? And I'm talking about the political trial lawyers. Understand, not trial lawyers. Some of my best friends are trial lawyers. They're not political. They go to work and they play by the rules. But some of these political ones, every time, we vetoed a bill last year. The trial lawyers were against it. Everything they're against, they seem to win.
Well, look,
tell me I'm wrong.
Insurance is more affordable in other states.
Period.
And I talk about this all the time. Based on the information I see and the conversations I have, I cannot honestly tell people that they deserve to pay the highest premiums in this country for their auto insurance because our cars don't cost more to repair. Our frequency, the number of accidents we have is not much higher than the national average. It is slightly. It's a tick higher, but it's not enough to justify us paying the highest in the country. So we're having these conversations, Moon, and to your point, we're having these committee hearings, and I'm thankful for the legislature calling themselves, not into session, but calling themselves back to have these committee hearings. And we're having another one this Thursday at 9 a.m. To talk about the cost drivers. That's what we've got to get to. And to your point, we've in the legislature, and look, in our state for the last, 30 years, these two forces have been pitted against each other, the insurance industry and the trial attorneys. It's more complex than that. It's not just those two groups. You're right. There are
But the people are ones paying with the profits on both of those.
But that's not what we talk. Nobody is talking out there about you and I as consumers are the ones suffering because of all this. We have got to address and correct this because, like I said, it's crushing families and it's inhibiting business growth in our state. And so these committee hearings are talking about the cost drivers. Why is a claim so expensive in our state? We're having these conversations. It's taking a long time, and I know people don't want to wait for that. But, democracy, this is how the democratic process works.
Yeah, but this in all fairness, Tim, and this should have been addressed way before you became the commissioner. And by the way, so I'm giving you a break on that, but I'm just saying it should have been addressed 20 and 10 years ago. Now we're at the point to where all these insurance companies could leave. Eventually, all of them's going to look up and say, you know what? When they come through our state and they see nothing but trial lawyer billboards and they sit at a hotel and they watch the news and go, wow, they're going to start asking why be here. I'm sorry.
Well, they do, and they already have. After the four hurricanes of Laura, Delta, Zeta, and Ida, in addition to the 13 companies that we had that went insolvent, we've had more than 24 left. Just said, you know what, we're not going to do business here anymore. And when I say left, some of them physically said we're going to stop writing business and leave. Others just said we're just not going to write any business. I mean, they chose to because, and that's the part of the conversation. Just like we want to attract oil and gas and manufacturing and all this other industry in our state, we also should be wanting to attract insurance companies.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about rebalancing the system, not making it more advantageous to the attorneys or to the insurance companies or to the doctors. This is about balance.
But you notice what I said. I didn't want you to throw anybody under the bus. And I said both of them got the blame, but only one of them been at the table.
Well, look,
hey, if I'm wrong, tell me. Moon, the other side's been there. Well, tell me what they're adding to the conversation to get this fixed.
Well, I would like to have a conversation with all the stakeholders and truly figure out where we can move forward, again, to help bring relief to the consumers. There is enough money in this system that you should be able to make everybody whole. The fact that, people, whether it's attorneys, whether it's insurance companies, whether it's claimants, somebody's making a whole lot of money in this process, and that's part of what we're talking about.
It ain't the consumer.
Well, look, and I can tell you this: if the insurance companies were making money hand over fist, they'd be fighting each other to get in this state, and they're not.
By the way, there's only one of the two groups that we're talking about. Only one of them's going after the other one, and on billboards and every other advertisement that we can. I'm waiting for the insurance companies to fire back at the trial lawyers and say, "Look at the money y'all making." I know that's not how you fix the problem, but you got to have all the players to the table.
Everybody has to be the conversation.
I don't think, in all fairness, the political trial lawyers care if it gets fixed or not. And that's a shame because that middle-class people like me, we're going, how much longer can we do this? And let me do this. I'm going to take a break. His name is Tim Temple. He's our insurance commissioner. When we get back, maybe you can talk about some companies that are coming. Maybe you can talk about some of what's holding them back, and maybe they out there and you negotiate, because I know y'all always working on that kind of stuff. Some of the positive stuff on that. All right, his name Tim Temple. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. We'll take a break. Be right back. I've been telling you about Schumacher Homes for a long time. Now, for a limited time, you can choose from 5 different financing offers and pick one that works best for you. Whether you're an active duty, military, or veteran, you can take advantage of the exclusive VA construction loan offer. You can lock in 30-year fixed financing for as low as 3.875. How about that? Looking to stay in your home and start construction right away? A stay in your home loan might be right for you. With this option, you can stay in your home during construction and not worry about moving twice. And for you first-time home buyers, we're not going to forget you. For a limited time, they're offering 30-year fixed financing as low as 3.875. Other financing offers include no-cost refinancing, conventional loans, and FHA construction loans. If you're thinking of building your dream custom home, there's no time like the present to start building. SchumacherHomes.com. SchumacherHomes.com. Let them build your dream home. They're building dream homes one at a time. Hey, folks, if you worry about your smile and your teeth and you need some cosmetic work, I got the guy for you. His name is Dr. Bruni with over 20 years of experience.
Hey, Dr. Bruni here with Pearl Dental Group. Are you struggling with missing teeth, failing teeth, or uncomfortable dentures? Our same-day full-mouth implants can transform your life in just one visit. Using 4 to 6 implants, our patients leave with a permanent new smile in just a few hours. Our world-class facility and experienced team utilize the latest technology, including 3D imaging and digital smile design, to deliver stunning results that look and feel natural. With our in-house lab, we can complete your entire implant process from start to finish in one location, saving you time and money. If you're ready to rediscover the joy of smiling and chewing with confidence, contact us today.
Pearl Dental Group is the one you need to know. PearlDentalGroup.com. Trust me, you want to smile again and you want to see them beautiful teeth, Pearl Dental Group is the one you need to know. Go to PearlDentalGroup.com, PearlDentalGroup.com.
There's a way to track you.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. It is the Moon Griffon Show, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. If you want to be part of the program, 844-766-6607. Tim Temple's in the house, of course, our insurance commissioner. And, Tim, one of the things I know last year, they got some stuff straight on property. And so my question would be, let's start with that. Are there companies trying to look back and come back in here? Is that something y'all, since we made some changes, that insurance companies will now look back in Louisiana maybe to come back?
Yeah, Moon, during the regular session, we had a package of bills, and we had a lot of property bills in there. And I'm thankful. We had the support of the governor. We had the support of the legislature. We got every property bill that we asked for. And as you were talking about in the first segment of the show, that was all based upon having conversations with both sides, with consumer advocates, plaintiff attorneys, insurance companies, reinsurance companies. And we all got to the table and we acknowledged what the problems were, and we brought legislation to address those inadequacies in Louisiana. And we have companies coming back, and I can't give you names until they're filed.
That's fine.
But we have companies that they're going through the process at the department to come and start writing property in Louisiana. Just as important, we have companies that are allocating more capacity, more assets to write more property in Louisiana. Reinsurance costs are coming down in Louisiana. Some of that is a direct result of the hurricane season, or the lack of. Sure. I mean, for us, I know we had Francine, and certainly people got damaged by that. But overall, it was a mild season.
Compared to the past.
Costs are coming down, so that we benefit from that. But also, a lot of the reinsurance is because of the reform that we did. So we took the input from all the stakeholders, we implemented it, and I think people can anticipate to see a better property market going forward. So we're on a good path there.
Okay. So, of course, the problem is the liability side and dealing with the vehicles. Matter of fact, I got to bet, I'm just guessing, you may tell me I'm wrong, that the real money's on the vehicle side. Because that's the hardest one to change.
Well, look,
Am I wrong?
Look, you have claims every day on that. I mean, look, whenever we have a catastrophic event, that's when you have a lot of property damage.
Absolutely.
But every day, and look, I know yesterday I was coming back from, I was driving from New Orleans back to Baton Rouge, and there was an accident on I-10, and on my car it shows you every accident. Mm-hmm. Within a 5-minute span, 4 more accidents popped up on that on the map showing just because of that one wreck. So we have an issue with. Like I said, we have accidents. We aren't above the national average on frequency, though. We do have accidents, but that's not the driver.
Yeah, I know, but there's a lot of money there, because then when you get there, you get injuries. And when you get injuries, there goes the problem.
The point is, we do have more auto accidents than we have homeowners on a daily basis.
So if I had to say, Tim, and I know you got a sheet there, bold first step for insurance reform. What does that do? What is 2 or 3 things? If you said 2 or 3 things we wish we could do overnight, what would they be?
Well, I'll tell you, on the auto side, I can tell you that the medical transparency bill. Just again,
tell people what that. I know what it is, but I want you to tell people what that is.
Sure. So on my, and this is my explanation of it, on medical transparency, it's like when you decide to litigate, you for whatever reason, you and the insurance company can't figure out a solution, come to an agreement, or you've hired an attorney at the beginning. When you bring bills because of medical cost, injuries that you sustained, in Louisiana, you get to show what was billed by your medical provider, not what was paid.
Yeah. So
and there's a large gap between those two.
Let me explain people what the bill has been negotiated now. So if it was $100,000 and you negotiated to $40,000, there's $60,000 in there, and you're telling me that they're still having to pay that because they're not being able to see part of that bill.
Right, and some people call that phantom damages. Yeah. I mean, look, it's at the end of the day, it's breaking the insurance business principle. Is you're supposed to be made whole, not better than.
Yeah,
that's what insurance rates are typically based on, making you whole. When you are enriched or become better, then those get factored into the rates going
let's be
forward.
blunt. If I got in a wreck and I had $40,000 worth of damage, my car and injuries, and now I'm gonna be back whole, then that's what I'm entitled to.
Yes.
That other $60,000 is going to be the fight. The other $60,000 is the fight, and that's the fight with the trial lawyers trying to get it from the insurance companies.
Well, and look, in Louisiana, we file twice the bodily. We have twice the bodily injury rate than the national average.
Wow.
We have twice the national average of litigation rate, and those add cost to the claim. And again, the insurance companies are going to pass that cost on to us, just like any business passes on their excess costs.
I got an argument with insurance companies. I mean, trial lawyers before. I'm just curious, and you may not know this. If you don't, that's fine. A lot of advertisement here. There's a lot of advertisement in Texas. There's a lot of advertisement just like there is here. I mean, I know it's legal. The Supreme Court ruled they can do it. They used to not ever do it. It was kind of an honor. Gentlemen, then somebody wanted to advertise. So is the advertisement as heavy in other states as it is here? Or do you have it? Or you really don't know?
Well, look, I know that I was in the committee hearings I guess it was October, and they had someone come in and present number of billboards, number of television ads, all these different advertising metrics. And they were all way higher in Louisiana than compared to states. But look, I don't have a problem with people having the ability to advertise.
I'm not asking you to take a stand. I get it.
Yeah, you should be able to advertise. I think where the message and the conversation needs to be had is what is being advertised.
Oh no, I think it's look, when you're sitting there saying, I got $9 billion for my people, you go, well, really, why don't you get some of that for me? I just think it's a fight. I do not think everybody's coming to the table, and I just feel like that's our problem right now. Y'all got a problem, which makes it a Moon problem, and everybody listening to the program problem. Because we got to get everybody to the table to decide how can we go along. Because let me tell you something, trial lawyers got big offices in Texas and everywhere else too, so they're making money over there. Okay, but insurance companies are willing to go there and not here. You know, when they say nationwide is on your side, except in Louisiana. I mean, why? That ought to be asked, and I know it is. I know it's being asked.
Well, and that's like I said earlier. You know, if companies were making as much money as it's asserted that they're, you know, then they would be hand over fist coming in our state, and the simple math is they aren't.
Well, the thing about it is, name a business where people can really make money here that people aren't coming to do it. Insurance is not one of them, because if it was, you're right, there would be a competition like we couldn't see right now.
You would have a lot of companies advertising on your radio show.
And by the way, they still can. No, Tim, so I know you're hopefully optimistic, but if we get a special session, I know you feel like that this will really focus on everything. And see, that's what I like about it too. I like the fact that if we get a special session, now we're going to find out where everybody stands on insurance. Because, Tim, one other thing I wanted to ask you, if we did something this year that was big, 2025 that was big, you know, a lot of times you don't see the results to a year or two up the road. At that point, we keep pushing it back. Since we didn't do big changes in what we needed to do last year, now we're another year back. Am I wrong by saying it? Because it does take time to implement all this stuff.
It does. You know, and as I say, like on the property issue, we didn't get here overnight. We're not going to get out of it overnight, but we are going to get out of it. We've got to do the same for auto. And look, we've talked about, you know, if we have a special session, we're working on a list of bills, potential bills that we would want to address, like the medical transparency, the Housley presumption. You know, that was one we brought last year. We're talking about putting a cap on soft tissue injury, setting aside medical trust. If you get a big award, the money is set aside so that it doesn't get spent all at one time.
Do you feel like if we didn't have a session, there's still things coming like you're talking about that y'all going to get passed? You feel like that?
I think if we don't have a special session, yes, we'll still I think you're still going to see legislation. I don't think it's going to be, as you said earlier, you're going to have that opportunity to have a true debate on it, because we're about to go into a regular financial or fiscal session.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, all this reform that's just been passed with the tax reform, there's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done there. There's a lot of things that the state is constantly facing. And these legislators, you know, they go into a session, they have thousands of bills that they have to deal with. And look, I want them to know as much as they can on every single bill. It's just a lot.
Well, but if you had a special session, it would be a lot, but it would be all focused on one thing.
On one topic, on one industry.
And I think we can really find out where insurance stands, trial lawyers stands, where the people stand, you know, what's needed to be done. I'm hoping they call one. I don't care if people say, well, I'm tired. This is something we got to get done.
Well, the legislators I talked to, they understand the need to have one. And I had some that just recently said, look, Tim, I don't want to go back to Baton Rouge for another special session, but if you told me I need to tackle insurance reform, I would.
I don't think there's a representative or senator out there that wouldn't like to go back and say, we able to get something for you, and you're going to see it in the next 3 or 6 months. You got to be able to see it and feel it and touch it.
Right.
If you can't, then you kind of wonder if something was done.
And we're never going to get there until we start. Yep. And we've got to start.
Tim, thank you, brother. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I'm humbled that you came by. All right, we got to take a break. More to Moon Griffon Show. Don't go nowhere.
John Wayne Praise more.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Brobridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pro Studio.
Trying to identify flying objects. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
These things are the size of a car, if not a bus, and they're literally flying right over our houses.
Brian Hurd is the mayor of Pequannock Township, one of several areas of New Jersey. These drones have been spotted since Thanksgiving, and he tells Fox.
When you see it once, okay, but when it comes back the next day and the next day, it's an issue. And we're not getting answers.
Those drones have also been spotted in New York, and House lawmakers hope to get answers at a hearing into the drones later today. Luigi Mangione remains jailed in Pennsylvania the day after being arrested as the suspected gunman in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last week in New York City, where Mangione faces a murder charge. He had a gun and a mask and a fake ID, a lot of cash, a passport, and a backpack when arrested.
Inside, a handwritten note that explained a possible motive in this case, talking all about how he was in bad pain in his back. He had a surgery, according to reports, and then slammed the insurance industry, specifically United Healthcare, saying in that manifesto, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone, so I was working alone. I do apologize for any strife or trauma, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites had it coming.
Fox's Alexis McAdams. Syria has a new interim prime minister.
Mohammed al-Bashir. He led the rebels' so-called salvation government ahead of the stunning 12-day offensive that took over the country. Countries like Turkey, Israel, and the U.S. have carried out strikes to prevent not only ISIS from attempting a power grab, but also to prevent anyone from getting their hands on weapons left behind by the Assad regime.
Fox's Alex Hogan in Tel Aviv. A wildfire is scorching Malibu, California. It started late last night, then spread fast overnight, prompting evacuation alerts on cell phones, waking people up.
And they just said, get out. They started packing bags quickly. I didn't have a go bag ready. Not smart.
About 2,000 acres of burn. America's listening to Fox News.
Trump's victory doesn't mean our financial worries are over. Far from it. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul here. For the past few decades, I believe our nation's economic foundation has crumbled, all due to Washington's addiction to spending and currency manipulation. These problems won't vanish overnight, and that's why I've supported gold IRAs for years. These accounts let you hold tax-advantaged gold with no penalties or taxes when you transfer your IRA or 401k. Birch Gold Group is the leader in gold IRAs. They understand true wealth preservation means breaking free from the system. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898. Secure your savings with gold today. Text PROTECT to 989898 now for your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Court-appointed special advocates, or CASA, are specially trained volunteers that help secure safe homes for abused and neglected children. Don't let these innocent victims slip through the cracks of our complicated legal system. Get involved today. Call CASA at 268-5111. This nonprofit organization moment brought to you by News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Every day at 5 p.m. right here on News Talk 96.5 KPEL, it's me, Joe Cunningham, with The Joe Cunningham Show, offering you news, analysis, and commentary you're not going to get anywhere else. The big news stories of the day, and even some of the headlines you may not be aware of. It's your local, state, and national news coverage from a local perspective right here. Every day, News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Check us out, The Joe Cunningham Show, every day at 5 p.m.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hi, hello. Welcome to the Griffon Show. It is great to be with you on a beautiful Tuesday. Finally, the rain has stopped. Wow, just gully wash after gully wash. Everything rising. Sun shining now. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Glad to see. Anyway, great to have you back with us. 844-766-6607. Except for J.D. Regar, which is a lot of fun. Tim Temple, and we had the guy from Judicial Hellhole. Look, and look, I get it from trial lawyers all the time. Not from my friends, but just the political ones. Y'all don't understand. They did tort reform. 220, nothing ever happened. And they blame the insurance companies. Insurance companies blame the trial lawyers, and you and me, we pay the price. And that's why I think if the trial lawyers should, the trial lawyers ought to tell us what to do. I just think they ought to come back and tell us what to do. That way, you know, they're going to do things that'll make it better for them, but will they make it better for you and me? And the answer is going to be no. They don't really want to change anything. That's why they don't come to the table. They don't come to the table. They say every time they have one of these meetings, they send a trial lawyer, a lobbyist. He just sits there and tell you why it's a bad idea. So we changing our business outlook and what we do in the business. These insurance rates, we've got to get ahead of them. And here's the problem with all this, and it is a problem. I'm just not going to give in to the trial lawyers. I'm not giving in to them. I think we need to fight. They want nothing changed. Okay? They want nothing changed. And so they got big pockets. They're also the one to give us they're also the ones that give us the Bell Edwardses of the world. You know, they're the ones that give us the Barack Obamas and the Joe Bidens. That's what they give you. They could care less. And that's a shame. But it is like that. And so we need some change, folks. I'm telling y'all, you cannot go a step in the right direction on this stuff. This has to be done and done quickly. I do not know if they're going to have a special session. I know the lawmakers are telling me privately they think they have a special session. And I go back to the governor. I know he's friends with the trial lawyer. He's a trial lawyer. The governor is going to have to be the mainstay for this to change. I'm just telling you. He's going to have to lead the charge for real change. Okay? He's going to have to. I think the medical community are involved in this too. The medical community is going to be involved in this as well. So anyway, lot to change, a lot to do when it comes to this. So anyway, I want to play a piece for y'all. Walker, you got it ready? Gary Chambers, y'all know, radical leftist, socialist, Marxist nut. Before I play this, he's going to talk about black, and black mayor and black this and black that. You know, folks, we just watched the Democrats get sawed in half in Louisiana and nationally. It's the Gary Chambers that are hurting this country. It's the Gary Chambers that are hurting any kind of race relationships, when I think race relationships are pretty good. It's Gary Chambers that focuses on color. Most people don't. Most blacks don't. Whites don't. Nobody focuses on color. Just want to live. I want people to do great. You're a black American, I want you to do great. If you're white, I want you to do great. You're an American, I want you to tear it up. Tear it up, baby. Go be the best you can be. But the problem is people like Gary Chambers and Devontae, what is his name? Devontae Lewis of Baton Rouge. He's out there. Devontae's calling public service commissioner. He tweeted saying Democrats need to reevaluate strategy in Louisiana as the party's influence continues to recede. It's continued to recede because of Devontae Lewis, and Gary Chambers and people like that. That's why it's receding. It's what they do and what they say. Well, Gary, I don't even know if I play it all. It's 2 minutes long. But Gary, and I probably won't walk. I'll tell you when to stop. Gary Chambers gets out there. He's a poster boy for what's wrong with the Democrat Party. And everything's race. And I'm telling y'all, me and And most Americans and people in Louisiana, black or white, don't get up thinking about race. They get up thinking, today I got up and did my prayer time. I'm thinking about what I got to do, get ready for the work. I worked on my program. I got some sales stuff I got to do. What I'm going to eat for supper tonight? I mean, I got things on my mind. It's not race. And the average person in Louisiana doesn't think about race. These people won't quit bringing up race in everything. I'm going to play just a minute. This is Gary Chambers, who's a Devontae Lewis. These people are running the Democrat Party. And it can't be about race. It's got to be about us. When I say us, black and white. But Chambers, you're going to get ready to hear it. I mean, this is a nut job. This is a total nut job. Democrat Party ought to get away from people like this, not black people, people like these people that think this way. Okay, here we go. Gary Chambers. This is on X. Here we go. Coming up. Hold up. Folks say they don't know it just stopped. I want you to hear this. It's absolutely ludicrous. And that's Devontae Lewis.
A lot of people who don't care if the mayor's black. I do.
Why?
Because when it comes to police issues, it matters when you walk into those rooms, the conversations that you have, the results that come out of that. It matters when you talk about contracts to black people, that somebody is actually relying on a black vote in order to deliver for black business owners. We have more black people getting contracts opportunities today in the city of Baton Rouge than we ever have. And so for some people, it's just about, oh, they black and it's their skin color. That matters to me too, because in the history of Baton Rouge, there have been 2 black mayors, Melvin Holden and Sharon Broome.
Oh, pretty bad.
I believe that we've given black people 2 opportunities in a 200-year history. I ain't giving up the power that we just got to somebody who didn't even believe in voting until he put his name on the ballot. But that's me, though. And I'm fighting for you every day. So ask yourself, are you going to give up the power that we've accrued because you in your feelings? Or are you going to stick with what you know is actually working for you? And I'm going to always stick with black folks.
All right, that's good right there, Mark. Okay, listen. Because nut job. Total nut job. That's what's running the Democrat Party. Blacks left and went and voted for Trump. Trump got 10, 11%. Blacks voted for Sid Edwards. Blacks are tired of the Chambers and the Devontae Lewises. And they want to know what the problem is? They're the problem. But we're talking about us in Louisiana and the United States of America. The hell with white, the hell with black, it don't matter. People matter. These guys are running people away. They're so stupid, they don't even know it. That was about as dumb. And by the way, it goes on worse. It gets even worse. That's the Democrat Party of today. They did that to themselves. I mean, Gary Chambers is an idiot. I'm fighting for you. No, Gary, you ain't fighting for me. You don't want nothing to do with me. I'm white. Gary Chambers is not fighting for Louisiana or Baton Rouge. Gary Chambers is not fighting for the United States. Gary Chambers is fighting for himself. That was a selfish rant. But that's what we come to know Gary. That's why we say Gary ought to be in charge of the Democrat Party. Him and Devontae Lewis, they'll never win again, ever. Populations in Baton Rouge, Shreveport, and Monroe now have decided, you know what, I'm sick of the rhetoric that comes out of people like Gary Chambers and Devontae Lewis's mouth. And I'm talking about blacks. They're looking at this, man, what you talking about? Because most people don't live in a racial society. Most of us don't, black and white. We live in a society. We live in a state, we live in a city, and we live in a parish, and that's where we live, and that's where we do work with. And black and whites work all over the state together. Every business. You got blacks and whites working together every day. And then Gary Chambers and this idiot comes along, and you got to put up with stupidity? I mean, God have mercy. Most people never even think about what Chambers is talking about. We all working together. Blacks and whites work really good together because they're not looking at, I got a black partner, I'm working with a black guy, I'm working with a white guy. You know what they're doing? That's the cause. That's who they work with. You got Gary Chambers, black. It matters to him. They're going to be, listen to me. Mark my word. There will be many more black mayors. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. It ain't about black and white. It's what you believe in. It's what you're working toward. If you got a white dude, and the white dude's a Marxist, socialist nut like Joe Biden, I don't want nothing to do with him, but he white. I don't care. Give me the black guy, but I want a conservative. I want a conservative, and somebody understands what they're doing. If they're all black, that's who I want. It's just, just that kind of stuff, folks. They would go over and over and over again. And as long as you're going to put the nuts, and it's X, anybody can get on X, okay? I get it. And he did say it's my opinion. There's too many people out there that quote their opinion. It's just, this is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But this is what the Democrat Party has become. Gary Chambers and Devontae Lewis. That's why they're losing, too, because of Gary Chambers and Devontae Lewis. Anyway, I had to play that, too. I want to make sure everybody heard that. Anyway, I got to take a break. We'll be back. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. I've been bragging about Dino Hardwoods for a long time. A good friend, Charles Altman. They do an excellent job. And if you're looking for unique or hard-to-find hardwood lumber, plywood, and molding, it's Dino Hardwoods. That's where you need to go. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com. Trust Dino Hardwoods for all your hardwood lumber and cypress needs. With the holiday season fast approaching, as you know, a timeless handmade gift using quality lumber by Dino just means more. With 3 great locations to serve you now, Broussard, Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana, and now he's expanded in Tyler, Texas. Folks, there's something for every discerning woodworker at Dino. Go to DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com, and check out the unique and hard-to-find hardwood, lumber, plywood, and molding that you can't just find anywhere. Charles Altman, trust me, is not a better man in the business. He knows what he's doing, and he wants to service you. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com.
My husband and I were invited to a 50th wedding anniversary. I noticed this little lady, and she was basically sitting alone. Her daughter turned to me just as I came over to introduce myself, and she said, "My mother has Alzheimer's." She had not said her daughter's name in 2 years. She didn't recognize her. I said, "Listen, we might be able to help her." And about 3 weeks later, they show up. We gave her 5 days of treatment. This lady, each day got a little better and a little better. She started flirting with the guys. She was so cute. My friend said, "You're smiling a lot." And she said, "They make those here." The next day, says out loud, "Martha, would you get me a cup of coffee, please?" Her daughter, Martha, breaks down crying because her mother hadn't said her name in 2 years.
Learn more about treatment for Alzheimer's at SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com. Springfield Wellness Center.
Craig Morrell and the...
I asked what kind of family she wanted. She said, "A family like yours."
Learn more about adopting a teen at AdoptUSKids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hey, parents, you don't need the latest gizmo, slang, or clothes to be a perfect parent, because kids in foster care don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, go to AdoptUsKids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
Atlas Foundation Repair, 800-256-1010. Louisiana-owned Atlas Foundation Repair, 800-256-1010. Call Tony Arpino. I have known him for years. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. What a great day. Great day to be with you. Sun's finally coming back out. All this rain we've been having pretty much around the state. Anyway, 844-766-6607, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. We'll see how everything breaks out with the insurance special session, if they have one. Of course, I'm sure when they do, we'll be talking to everybody. I think the gov is going to be the one that's going to have to call it. He's going to have to be the one that sets the parameters of us being able to change what's going on with our insurance when it comes to vehicles and cars and liability insurance. And it's not going to be easy. Trial lawyers will be against it. If they give it on something, trust me, they'll give it in because they're getting something else. I don't care if they get mad at me. I just don't give a rat's rear end if they get mad at me. They've been making a killing here. And besides, let me ask y'all a question. Who do you think pays the bill? See all these trial lawyers that are advertising? You cannot miss it if you watch TV. We got this much for our clients. We got billions. We got millions. We got 500. We got all that stuff. Who do you think pays those bills? You and me do. We pay them through the insurance companies and our insurance rates that skyrocketed up. You and me, when somebody gets on TV, Get Jimmy got me $632,000. No, let me tell you about that $632,000. 40 to 50% of that, Get Jimmy got. Oh, Get Jimmy got it. So-and-so got me $600,000. Really? How much did Get Jimmy get? How much did the guy standing on top of the truck get? They get their expenses and up to 40%. By the way, that reminds me, you people that don't know, in Lafayette, there's a lawyer. I ought to get him on TV, on the radio. He's a lawyer. He's a young lawyer. And he's saying that he only wants 25%. We ought to get trial lawyers competing. He said, I don't want but 25%. I don't need any more of your money. The rest of it goes to you. Boy, I bet the trial lawyers that are making 40%, 33, 35, 40, whatever they make, I bet they're about to wee-wee in their pants. I bet you that kid, that young man, that kid is a young man, young lawyer trying to get into business, make its way. He only wants 25%. The other one's getting 33 to 50, 40, whatever it is. There's a young guy saying, I'm going to break in the market. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell people I'll charge them less. Matter of fact, only 1% of these cases go to trial anyway. You heard Tim Temple say that. 1%. So if this guy can get something, he ain't got to worry about going to trial. Anyway, would that put competition with trial lawyers? Of course, the big shots are saying, oh, it hurt me. I'm charging what I charge. I'm worth it. I don't think anybody's worth 40% of $1 billion that never went to court. But remember this. Every time you see somebody bragging how much Big Jimmy got, get her done, remember, the lawyers are probably getting 40, 50% of that because they also getting expenses out of it. But even if they're getting 35 or 33 and they get expenses, I was still 40%. And remember, every time you see them numbers up there, remember when they bragging, they came out of your pocket and my pocket in our insurance rates. So I got to remember. When you see them on there going, I got $6 billion. Say, yep, out of my pocket, out of my rear end, because that's what's taking place. Folks, I'm not being ugly, just being honest. We got a problem. If we can't fix this, all the tax reform that people are talking about won't mean nothing in the big picture if we don't do something about the insurance rates. You realize that, huh? All the tax reform in the world ain't going to do anything about it if we don't do something about the insurance rates. It's just the way it is. So we got to be able to fix this problem. If we're not going to fix the problem, we're not going to fix Louisiana. This is a gigantic issue. And everybody's feeling it. I'm feeling it. You feeling it. Middle-class people are feeling it. Everybody's feeling this insurance hit. Matter of fact, some people would rather have that fixed before they would get rid of their income taxes. And I'm going to tell you what, homeowners and things like that, people can't afford these homes. So my question is the legislature and the governor going to fix this? Because it's going to come from them. And the trial lawyers ain't helping. The trial lawyers were getting away, but they're not going to help. And I'm not talking about my buddies in the trial lawyer profession. You just do your job. Talking about these big-time ones on TV, big political ones, and every time something comes up, they stop it, they beat it back. They never have the answer for the problem, do they? Because they don't want to fix what really been a gold mine for attorneys here. Gold mine. All right, we got to go. We'll take a break. You listen to Moon Griffon Show. Liz Cheney. Y'all going to love this story. We'll be right back. Oh, Shucks, you've been hearing me brag about Shucks. Been going there for many, many years. Shucks does a great job. If you like seafood, you got to go to Shucks in Abbeville. I'm telling you right now, there's shrimp, there's oysters, there's fish, all fresh every day right off the boat. So if you want something fresh and you want fresh seafood, you got to go to Shucks. Don't forget, if you're having a party, call Shucks. Let them cater the event for you, or you can go pick it up. Shucks, they're waiting on you. If you want a great time and you want great food, you got to go to Shucks in Abbeville. Shucks, good.
The sun has never raised its rates, but your local energy company sure has. Solar Louisiana can install residential home solar systems with huge battery storage, or they can add batteries to your existing system. If there's an outage, you're sitting pretty with all the electricity you need. Imagine an electric bill so low, you can pay it with pocket change you find in the couch. Solar Louisiana has the experience you need to make the right decision. Online at solarlouisiana.net. Your energy independence company, Solar Louisiana.
Nestled in gently rolling hills in North Louisiana is a place that produces the finest Louisiana wines around, Landry Vineyards. This place is phenomenal. Not only are they passionate about growing wine grapes and making Landry Vineyards wine, they also have cottages and RV sites you can rent, tours, and live music on Saturdays and tastings Monday through Saturday. Available in over 650 stores throughout Louisiana, I encourage you to visit and try Landry wine direct from Landry Vineyards. This is another great Louisiana company that has my full support, and they're Louisiana certified. A red blend they labeled Bayoutage, Blackberry Merlot, Cabs, Rosé, Petite Syrah, dry and sweet whites, and many, many other wines. Learn more about their wines and their vineyard online at LandryVineyards.com. This is Moon Griffon. My lovely bride and I love the wines from this great Louisiana company, Landry Vineyards, and so will you. Go visit their beautiful winery and find them in your local grocery store. If they don't have Landry Vineyards wine, ask and ask again. LandryVineyards.com. Woo, good wine right here.
Do you crave...
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Louisiana.
This message presented by the LHSAA and the Louisiana High School Athletic Directors Association.
I want to help more kids graduate from high school.
Help more families learn how to budget and save.
I want my neighbors to have access to health care.
Help create opportunities for everyone in your community. Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This hour brought to you by the Matthew James Tax Pros. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Hi, hello. Welcome back. It is always a pleasure to be with you on the Moon Griffon Show. 844-766-6607 is the number if you'd like to be part of the program. It's a Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. All righty. Of course, we're going to give away cane rope pecans and a boudin, well, not a boudin, bourbon pecan pie at the end of the next segment. So if you want to be part of that, email me moon@moongriffon.com. Say you want to win, make sure you leave an address. Don't leave an address, I can't send it to you. Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney is, Bill Cassidy's going right behind Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney was a representative. Liz Cheney hates Donald Trump. Liz Cheney made bad votes. Liz Cheney is a a liberal Republican on a great day. She won big in the first time she ran, and now she ran back for the last year, 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago. She ran for representative, thought she'd have that, had the name, a lot of money. They wrote another article today, Clancy DuBose. I mean, you talk about do nothing, know nothing DuBose. Horrible. But anyway, he's in the devil's advocate, what you expect. So Liz Cheney and you had the J6 committee, remember? Now, I didn't know all this, and I started reading and found out I made a couple phone calls. Liz Cheney, she was part of the partisan, not the nonpartisan, partisan January 6th committee. They put him at Kinsinger out of Chicago, somewhere out of Illinois. And they were on the committee to rip up J6 and to beat up Donald Trump. That was their goal, and they couldn't wait to do it because one didn't run and one got smoked, about 37 points, like Cassidy's going to get smoked. So Trump has made the point that the J6 committee, because of what they've done, ought to be thrown in jail. And that's when I started saying, well, just a second, don't be in jail. So I did a little investigation, and the reason he's saying this is her and the committee destroyed 117 of the panel's files. They didn't release everything that needed to be released, and they destroyed some. Now, folks, I got to tell you, that's public record. She's a public servant. That's public record. They shouldn't destroy anything. Yet Cheney destroys it, but the media is never going after her. And the people on that committee. Trump accused members of partisan panel on Sunday of destroying committee evidence that he said exonerated him from allegations of wrongdoing, and it probably did. Accusations came as two Republicans who led the House Administration Committee on Oversight investigation. In January, his computer forensic investigator discovered that 117 files went missing, presumably deleted and encrypted by the panel's member, which Liz Cheney was a member. See, folks, that's what every time Trump goes about to prove these people wrong, he does. And they prove to be evil. Liz Cheney has become one of the evil ones. I don't care what you think about her. She's so moral and high ground. Why did they destroy anything? So if I got the evidence and I say, okay, Walker, you this, and here's the evidence, that's one thing. But I got to prove it. Why can you prove it when the evidence has been thrown away? Deleted. It's obvious the J6 committee went to great lengths to prevent Americans from seeing certain documents produced in an investigation. This is the guy that's investigating them. It also appears Benny Thompson from Mississippi and Liz Cheney intended to obstruct our subcommittee by failing to preserve critical information and videos as required by House rules. This was required. This is what they did. This lady ought to be put in jail. This lady ought to have to go to court and let's see what she did. This is what they've been doing to Trump since Trump came down that escalator. When interviewed on NBC, Trump said members of the committee should go to jail for what they did. Cheney did something that's inexcusable, along with Thompson and the people on the unselect committee of political thugs and, creeps. Trump was referring to committee chair Benny Thompson. They deleted and destroyed all evidence. Folks, FBI ought to go after these people. Let me ask y'all a question. When y'all been hearing about this president we have, Joe Biden, who got 15 million more votes than Barack Obama, and all he did was sit in the basement when he ran in 2020. Do you really, why Biden would pardon Liz Cheney? She's so innocent. Why would he pardon Cheney? Why would Cheney want to pardon if she's not? She's so innocent. Folks, the swamp is so evil. That's why they hate Donald Trump. They don't care if they bring the country down to its knees, put us in a Great Depression, and we lose our freedom. They don't care about that. They wanted to destroy Trump. They ain't got him yet. Don't think they ain't going to quit trying, because they are. You know? Cheney, who enriched herself in Congress before leaving in defeat. Boy, she got defeated bad. Said Trump suggested that members of Congress who later investigated his illegal and unconstitutional action should be jailed as a continuation of his assault on the rule of law and the foundation of the republic. Folks, if they did this, they ought to have to pay the price. They ought to have to pay the price. You know, so they asked Trump if he's going to go after, are you going to direct the FBI director or your attorney general to send him to jail? Not at all. I think that they'll have to look at that. They can do whatever they want. Folks, this is why they didn't want Donald Trump back in. If Donald Trump would go look at the elections in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona from 2020, and go look at what they did with voting and mail-in ballots, we could get to I would never leave a rock unturned. Not vindictive. Go see what really happened. Because you'll have the power to go see everything you want to see now. Looks like to me Liz Cheney's kind of nervous. Why? I wonder why Liz shouldn't be nervous. She's such an eloquent woman. She shouldn't be nervous at all. She shouldn't be nervous at all. She's got the moral high ground against Donald Trump. She got the moral high ground, right? They didn't do anything wrong. Benny Thompson, a liberal leftist Looney Tune from Mississippi, old Benny boy wouldn't do nothing wrong. Liz Cheney won't do it. Let me tell you something, folks. The same thing I told you about Psycho Bill Cassidy. The reason they did what they did, none of them ever thought Trump would win again. They thought they had Trump and they were going to bury Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is going to be the president unless they wipe him out, which they still going to try to do. Liz Cheney did what she did because she never thought Donald Trump could win. So did Psycho Bill Cassidy. Now that he won, now they're shaking in their boots. Liz Cheney knows what she did. I remember we were going to get all this information from Psycho Bill. Didn't get any information from Psycho. Not one thing about how Trump was guilty. Not one thing. I wonder why. I'm just asking. I wonder why Psycho Bill didn't give us the rest of the information. Because he don't have anything to give us. You know, they were cocky. None of these people, none of them thought Donald Trump would win again. They thought Donald Trump would be dead. All the stuff they did to him, try to put him in jail, convict him of this, convict him. They thought Trump was done. Trump really rolled through the Republican primary, and then he destroyed Kamala Harris and the Democrats. This is why they did all this. This is why they're nervous. This is why you might see Biden pardon people who hadn't even been convicted yet. One reason. Okay? Trump has one. Trump beat him again. Trump beat him at their own game. Trump beat the swamp. I don't know if he'll beat the swamp when he gets back, but he needs to try. That's what this is about, folks. They never thought he would win. They never thought he had a chance to win. And now look who's squirming now. And Bill Cassidy's right in there. He's right in there. He is squirming. Look for Cassidy to vote for Trump on everything he wants. He's not voting against Trump, folks. I'm telling y'all, he's going to look like what a great conservative this guy is for the last 2 years. By the way, I want people to know, in about 18 months, we're going to have a closed primary in Louisiana. It's only 18 months away. March or April of 2026. We got closed primaries that Bill Cassidy has to run in. Just letting you know. All right, let's take a break. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Louisiana locations, I always make it a point to visit Superior Grill when I'm traveling in the great state of Louisiana. I love the food there. It's authentic Mexican food with a Louisiana twist. Their menu has all your favorites: nachos, quesadillas, enchiladas, tacos, fajitas, hand-cut steaks, and the best margaritas in the state. You can go to Superior for lunch or dinner, and folks, you're going to thank me for it. My lovely bride and I eat at Superior Grill every chance we get. They're on Line Avenue in Shreveport, Government Street and Highland Road in Baton Rouge, St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans, and on College Saloon in Lafayette. I'm talking great food, great service, and great margaritas. The best Mexican food with a Louisiana twist is found at Superior Grill, Shreveport on Line Avenue, Baton Rouge on Government Street and Highland Road, New Orleans on St. Charles Avenue, and College Saloon in Lafayette. This is Moon Griffon. I'll see you at Superior Grill. This is Moon Griffon. My good buddy Jeff and the folks at Hudco Roofing and Exteriors is Louisiana's premier professional roofing contractor, specializing in residential roofing services. Remember, your roof protects everything, you and your family, and most of your possessions. And that's where Hudco Roofing comes in. These folks aren't just your average roofers. They're the #1 roofing company in the state. Whether you need a repair or brand new roof, Hudco Roofing has you covered. Hudco is a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master and takes every roof all the way down to the decking to make sure there are no hidden damages. Hudco Roofing is also a state-certified installer of the Fortified Roofing System, and that's a big deal. Anywhere in Louisiana, you can get a free roof inspection and quote from Hudco Roofing. Go to HudcoRoofing.com for quality workmanship, premium products, and unparalleled customer service. This is Moon Griffon. I trust Hudco Roofing of Louisiana, and so should you. HudcoRoofing.com. That's HudcoRoofing.com.
LA 22.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. It is a pleasure to be with you. It's a beautiful Tuesday now. Man, the rain got out here. I don't know if y'all all get rain. By the way, all Ford electric vehicles canceled and delayed in 2024. You got all 2020. Ford 3-row EV program canceled. Oh, yes. I wonder why. Ford has adjusted its aggressive transition toward electric vehicles in favor of a more balanced approach. I wonder why. And the old combustion gasoline engine is part of what they're doing. Things are changing. The most shocking announcement of 2024 was the cancellation of the program to develop 3-row electric SUVs. Why are we getting across? Why are we getting rid of this? So cheap for the average person. So I just want to share that with you folks. I got a Ford vehicle. It's a combustion engine. And I like it just like it bees. Just letting you know that. Just like it is. By the way, key partner withdrawals from large-scale CO2 carbon capture project. I wonder why. The future large-scale carbon capture demonstration projects in North Dakota is now unclear after multimedia outlets reported a key partner exit from the venture. By the way, this is all federal money. Project Thunder received a federal funding from the U.S. government Department of Energy last year through two separate, totaling nearly $400 million. They wouldn't be jacking with this stupid stuff. This is in addition to another $43 million received from the federal government in 2020. Carbon capture is seen by proponents as an emerging technology that can keep fossil-powered plants viable while reducing emissions. Yeah, all fake, all a lie. It's all money. Unbelievable. All right, the other thing, the last thing. So they did it again. I just wanted to let you know, you people that buy The Advocate or read The Advocate, God bless you, first of all. I'm one of the fools. I'm a fool. What kind of fool am I? I know. But I just like to read what the enemy, the devil's advocate, writes. They will be doing puff pieces on Psycho Bill Cassidy. They started years ago. And as we get closer to the 2026 election, it's going to pick up. Mark my words, Psycho will be voting for Trump and everything he wants. But now Clancy DuBose, who was put there to beat up on anybody that's conservative Republican. But if you're a liberal Republican, if you're from like Illinois, he loves you. DuBose, John Fleming attacks Bill Cassidy right flank and shows the cost of crossing Trump. Now, I don't think DuBose even understands Trump. What Trump got 62% of the vote. People like DuBose, they don't see it. He don't understand it. He's a journalist. He ain't got a lick of sense. No common sense. He don't care about the truth either. It take long for Treasurer John Fleming to prove his critics right. And, of course, they were talking about John's running for the next step. They make this a big deal. It ain't no big deal in my eyes. See, I'm keeping my eyes on the prize. The prize is to change our United States Senate out, Psycho Bill, to put somebody in that's conservative with some damn sense. That ain't going to go on TV blasting the president. And that's what they're doing. Fleming is an unflinching supporter of Donald Trump. Cassidy's support for Trump ranged from tepid to, well, voting to convict Trump in a second impeachment trial. What information did he use? The one that Liz Cheney told him that they got rid of? And they keep taking a shot at Fleming, and how Fleming stepping stone to the Senate, worst kept secret. I'm just over and over and over. And nobody cares about that, Clancy. That reflects Cassidy's vulnerability as much of the voters' acceptance of Fleming's disingenuous as candidate for treasurer. No, he's not. He's a treasurer. He's been working his butt off. There's nothing disingenuous about it. There's nothing. See what they do? Discredit Fleming while he pick Cassidy up. Discredit anybody. He's tried to discredit Jeff Landry. He tries to discredit John Kennedy. He tries to discredit John Fleming. And anybody else that gets in the race, the devil's advocates coming at you. They love them some weak Bill Cassidy. Cassidy has not yet announced his candidacy for re-election. Don't forget that, folks. But he and Fleming are already lobbing grenades at one another. Primary is going to be a nasty fight. No, not at all. It's not going to be nasty at all. Cassidy, all you got to do is tell the truth on Cassidy. That doesn't make it nasty, folks. Cassidy is a unicorn among Republicans. He has dared to tell the truth about Trump despite the known cost of crossing a man who famously carries grudges. See? Cut on Trump. And Cassidy, of course, he's a unicorn. To tell what truth did he tell on Trump, Clancy? What was the truth? We still wait for the truth on the J6 people. It looks like that was a joke. By the way, Walker, I got time? Yeah, I do. I'm going to play something real quick. It's just part. We're going to play some of it. It's just part of Congressman Higgins dealing with the J6 and all that stuff. Listen to this on X.
Moment that I'm able to reveal that stuff, I will. I mean, if you clearly have men dressed as Trump supporters walking around inside the Capitol on the other side of police officers who are, to one extent or another, not engaged with them, like they're not concerned about them. Then you have a set of closed doors, like exterior doors and interior doors closed, and you have police officers positioned outside and then in between the two doors, and then on the inside of the second set of doors. Doors weren't open yet.
What
so if
time
you have
was
video, this was a couple of the videos that Trump was still speaking. And then on the inside, looked like Trump supporters walking around in groups of 5 or 6. So these were clearly separated physically and by doors and by police officers from the guys on the outside. So any reasonable man would come to the conclusion when you have videos of the doors being opened and police officers allowing Trump supporters that had gathered at the door to now enter. No violence, just walking in, just come on in, some fist bumps and come in, a second set of doors open, and then there's a group of Trump supporters on the steps, the interior steps, saying, come on, this way, this way.
What does that
Any
tell you?
reasonable man would look at that and say this was a coordinated effort by law enforcement.
Hold that for the next hour. That was Clay Higgins. That's why they talking about Liz Cheney pardoning up. They got all this information getting ready to come out, folks. All of it getting ready to come out. All of it getting ready to come out. It's going to be awesome. We're going to know the truth and why Liz Cheney. Then we can ask Psycho Bill, why'd you impeach him again? What did he do? All right, by the way, K Games, Bourbon Pecan Pie winner in Anacoco, and Cindy Bowe, Charlotte, North Carolina wins the pecans. Charlotte been trying to win a bunch. I'm sorry, Cindy Bowe. Cindy Bowe in Charlotte, North Carolina. She wins the pecans. K Games wins the bourbon pecan pie. Y'all enjoy. All right, we got another hour to go. Heritage Foundation will join us at 11:30. A little bit more on this Clay Higgins story. We'll be right back.
For the absolute best in local Cajun food, check out Prejean's in their 2 locations in Carencro and Broussard today.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues designed to help you help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything. Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Brobridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station. Broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pro Studio.
The border debate is back. Lisa Brady, Fox News, at a Senate hearing on the president-elect's plans for mass deportations.
We will not accept illegal border crossings as the new normal.
Texas Republican Senator John Cornyn says immigration policy should be lawful and humane. But California Democratic Senator Alex Padilla says the Trump plan to prioritize criminals for deportation will drift.
In effect, he will be targeting all undocumented immigrants, which will inevitably include those without criminal convictions of any type.
He also says immigration is good for the economy, but Patty Morin, the mother of Rachel Morin, whose accused killer is an illegal immigrant, tells lawmakers,
I think that you should put American citizens first.
Later today, a House hearing on the security concerns over unmanned drones after weeks of nightly flights over parts of New Jersey and New York City. The NFL's security chief will also testify about the rising number of rogue drone flights into restricted airspace above stadiums during football games. Syria has a new interim leader.
Mohammed al-Bashir is the new caretaker prime minister of Syria. He's been backed to run the country for now by the HTS rebels who forced former dictator Bashar al-Assad to flee over the weekend. There's still a lot of uncertainty over how Syria will be governed in the future. The UN's envoy to Syria today played down the former links between HTS and al-Qaeda.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The White House says it's able to communicate with opposition groups in Syria and that the U.S. will also continue to put pressure on ISIS in Syria. Thousands of residents become wildfire evacuees near Malibu, California.
The fire is currently estimated at over 2,200 acres, and we have 700 firefighting personnel assigned.
L.A. County Fire Chief Anthony Maroney, nearby Pepperdine University, canceling classes and exams today. America's listening to Fox News.
Trump's victory doesn't mean our financial worries are over. Far from it. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul here. For the past few decades, I believe our nation's economic foundation has crumbled, all due to Washington's addiction to spending and currency manipulation. These problems won't vanish overnight, and that's why I've supported gold IRAs for years. These accounts let you hold tax-advantaged gold with no penalties or taxes when you transfer your IRA or 401k. Birch Gold Group is the leader in gold IRAs. They understand true wealth preservation means breaking free from the system. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898. Secure your savings with gold today. Text PROTECT to 989898 now for your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
The Postmaster General is on the Capitol Hill Grill as lawmakers question why the U.S. Postal Service is still losing billions of dollars every year.
There are 31,000 post offices in the U.S., and half of them don't make enough money to justify being open. But anytime you try to talk about closing one, boy, you've opened a hornet's nest or poked one. So I take you to Capitol Hill, where the Postmaster General, Louis DeJoy, is talking about reform and things like increasing delivery times, maybe eliminating some people. That's not popular, though, when you try to implement it. Jim Comer is the chairman of the House Oversight Committee. He says he supports the reform, but it's probably going to mean cutting people.
Fox Business's Jeff Flaw. DeJoy is defending the agency's plan to buy more electric vehicles, arguing there are operational cost benefits from zero-emission vehicles. Climate funding passed by Congress included $3 billion for the Postal Service to buy EVs and charging infrastructure. The Biden administration just announcing an investigation into labor and human rights abuses in Nicaragua, impacting relations with a country the U.S. has a free trade deal with amid growing concerns over the president's increasingly authoritarian rule. Time magazine unveils their Athlete of the Year.
Caitlin Clark's basketball greatness caught the attention of many who may have never watched a women's basketball game, or any sport for this matter. First, she broke the women's NCAA scoring record, then the men's record. Then she led her team at the University of Iowa to the national championship game. And 2 weeks later was the number 1 overall draft pick in the WNBA for the Indiana Fever. She led the Fever to the playoffs for the first time in 8 years. Clark started all 40 games for Indiana, was the WNBA Rookie of the Year. WNBA teams sold out their games when Clark and the Fever came to town. TV ratings hit all-time highs. Along with all of her accolades this year, Caitlin Clark named Time Athlete of the Year.
Fox's Jared Max. I'm Lisa Brady. Fox News.